work it as a community. All right, so welcome in. We are getting ready to get onto Facebook. Here we have our experts. And let's see, we're going to take a moment as we've started the recording here in Zoom. Let's see if we get back in. It's great having this window open too because, hi Sabina, because there's so much great interaction, people sharing about their emotions and how they're appreciating what everybody's sharing. It's great to hear that along the way. Did that help you, Tanya, coming back in? Tanya,
We can't hear you, babe. You're muted, Tanya.
Okay, so I hit live. We'll see if we're good.
Yeah, it helped a lot. It helped a lot.
Excellent. So it says we're preparing and we're getting on live. It asked me just to type in something. I was laughing because when we kicked off, my 16-year-old son is calling me. He's like in the other room. But I said, "Are you off the internet?" He said, "No. You have to call like our person that does the internet stuff. You have to call them. Our bandwidth isn't good enough." I said, "Are you serious? Jacob, get off the internet. Get off the internet now."
I remember the days when I had to text to their bedroom, take out the trash.
And then my hubby's on the family text. He says, "All computers should be dialed down." I was like, "Yes, hubby, thank you."
Yeah. Go play a board game.
I know.
Thank you.
Right?
Ladies, they went to the snow.
Oh, nice. That's beautiful. That's awesome. I'm gonna pick up a few board games.
I'm gonna make it there one year when I get over my fear of growing up at 20-something years in the snow.
All right, ladies, we're going on live here.
I relate to that.
Okay.
All right. All right. So it's getting prepared, and we'll see. Oh, it says live on Facebook. Okay. Welcome in. Hi, my name is Rhonda Liebig, and I'm the founder of the Fresh Inspiration Show. My background is health coaching, and so I'm going to be playing along with all these experts today in my expert space as a health coach. Also the founder of the Fresh Inspiration Show. Let me kick this off for you. We're on our third hour of these expert pods. We started off the morning with beautiful singing, meditation, even journaling. We had a full hour of what I love to call mindset transformation entertainment. It was fabulous. I didn't know how it was going to land, and it did. It did. Incredible chills, and I even cried when we had our singer Mel Perry. Then we've been going into these expert pods. I cannot believe when we get to have this more symposium style discussions, how you get to really breathe in and listen to these experts that are sharing tools and tips and ways to really show up these days. I'm learning so much myself, and I'm seeing people come on since 8 o'clock this morning, and I'm feeling the vibe myself. We're going through some big changes. Today is so different than just 3 weeks ago. We're going to speak to that. The Fresh Inspiration Show truly is about inspiration, and it's not the inspiration where you lift up the carpet and you throw it in, and you put the carpet down, you go, okay, everything's fine. This show is about, all right, there's all this crud going on. Now, how in the heck do I live in life when all I can see is this crud? Today we're going to speak to that. That's what I'm so proud of as being the founder of this show, is everybody that's part of this has had some touch with the Fresh Inspiration Show, and that's why they're here as experts today. So welcome them in. I'm going to give you name by name. And we have 3 experts, and our focus in this hour is bringing the frequency to here and now, manifesting personal relationships and business reawakening energy. Welcome in. We have Amanda Rawls, owns a business, Answer Home Loans. She's a creator of poems also. So she has a higher frequency of not just working with loans and making sure people are buying their homes that they love and that they are cherishing. But she also has a connection with being able to speak to something so quickly in a poem. So I invited Amanda in and really sharing emotional consciousness. And I'm not going to put Amanda on the spot for doing a poem. I will someday, by the way, Amanda.
I did bring one.
Ah.
I did bring one, just in case if there's time.
Well, okay, so we may have something here because Amanda has a poem. Catherine's been speaking to a song that means something very special to her. So Catherine Brewer is a new friend of mine that I just met a couple months ago, or actually Catherine just a month ago. And she's going to be with the Fresh Inspiration Show as soon as we get to do our live show over in Sebastopol. And Catherine is a soul alchemist. She's not just that title. That's a title I pulled from as I'm getting to know her. But Catherine is a deep spirit. You're going to be able to hear some special things about her journey. I'm excited to hear about this song because I think we're going to have a moment where we're talking about this kind of stuff. Tanya Tyus Parker, our third expert today, super soul coach and event producer. Tanya and I get an opportunity to talk a lot about bringing people together in spirit, serving this world, and being able to have the best speakers around, people that really are in their love heart space and they want to give scrumptious, tasty, yeah, I'm speaking like a health coach, loving food of medicine for mind and body and soul. So welcome in Amanda, Tanya, and Catherine, and welcome in the people in our Zoom and also our Facebook page, the Fresh Inspiration Show public group. I'm going to be looking, making sure that I'm catching the messages because the last 10 minutes I want to make sure that you have any questions that you can open up your mic, ask questions, or through our Facebook group. Welcome in.
Thank you.
Okay, so what I've been learning about today is I want to know, Amanda, Tanya, and Catherine, how you're showing up today. I'm noticing for myself and my personal relationships that I'm just a normal being going through my process and feeling scared sometimes, feeling on top of the world. And I want to know what your story is. How are you coming in? Because right after that, we're going to talk about the tools that you use to get your clearing. So the first question is, how are you showing up today? Let's be authentic in what's happening for you. Whoever wants to start.
Hey, I'll start.
Perfect.
Oh, there's Joan.
Yeah, hi, Catherine.
Joan's been, oh, look at that. Okay, Joan, if you can mute, and I'll make sure you get to, if you have any questions later, but we'll make sure that. But Joan, I love you being here, my friend.
I know.
So, Catherine, you wanted to start off. And ladies, this is as if you're sitting at my kitchen table. So you keep yourself unmuted, unless you have some, for Tanya and Amanda and Catherine, keep yourself unmuted. This is not,
Okay.
This is community and coming together. And then if you need to mute, you can do that.
Okay.
So the question is, how am I showing up today?
Yes, Catherine, let's hear it, my friend.
What happens for me when I'm going to be sharing who I am in a more public way is right at the beginning. I don't have anxiety about that until the moment that I open my mouth to do it, and then I have anxiety. And so I use my tools. So what I'm doing right now is I'm imagining that I am breathing in and out through my heart, which is part of heart math. And that allows me to get out of my ego, get out of my head, and connect to the bigger, to connect to my expanded self. which is, I believe, one of the messages of one of these students are giving, that we're thrown into the unknown. And Rhonda, by the way, you are modeling so wonderfully that you got an inspiration, you got a nudge, and it was something you've never done before. You said, "But we're doing it," and you didn't know how to do it, so there were some glitches in the beginning, and you just keep going, and now it's really smooth. And I think that's the future for us. We're in the unknown, and we're getting information of what to do that we haven't done before. We just do it. But we do it from our expanded self and not our head.
That's the truth. I think we have more to speak about that, don't we, Catherine?
Yeah. Yeah. And I have seen the big picture of things since I was tiny. So so that's part of what I would like to bring, is there's a really bigger picture.
Oh, I love that. We're going to hear some awesome stuff.
You know, Rhonda, for myself and how I'm showing up now, and this can speak, I'm in the mortgage business, 24 years of originating home loans, and I've been here before. And what you hear in the media right now, even from the Today Show last week, that it's a great time to refi, is incorrect. I'm not going to say it's not a great time, but rates are not where they were a month ago. Lending standards have increased, have tightened up. You'll be in the middle of a transaction and they're now changing the way that they calculate income, and we're denying loans right before docs.
Wow.
FHA and VA may halt a little bit come April 15, is what we're hearing right now. On that note, you know, for about a week and a half, I had the ostrich syndrome. And to be honest, it's been happening for over a month now. We've seen a lot of changes behind the scenes. And I don't fight, but I was combating what everybody is hearing to be true on the media. And then, of course, you start doubting, is it just the broker side? Is it direct lending? Is it banks, right? That's the initial thing. But I've been here before, and in 07 and 08, when we had lenders, you know, the implode meter and lenders stop, and we're seeing that again. Loan companies stopping originating, they're not doing refinances. And so there's a lot of things behind the scenes from a business professional. Somebody has dogs, mute.
So how is this making you feel? I know you start talking about the ostrich and what's happening.
Well, Italy, how I was showing up was, you know, the fear.
Yeah.
It was truly where we headed, and then the old reminiscent of, I've been here before, and that's when I lost my business. Well, it wasn't a loss, but that's right, the human side of things, when I had to short sale homes and, you know, I had to shut my doors and let 4 people go. And so what I have done initially was I did go into ostrich, and I think now the reality is, you know, I've been here before. That's the exciting thing, is I have been here before. And when I broke it down, and of course, working a lot with you and really sitting down and thinking about mindset, and, you know, I start every day grateful, and that has not changed. And I think that we focus in on so much of the fear factor of life that, you know, staying in that grateful space that, you know, there still are people that need help. There's now more blessings that are going to be coming because I'm going to be able to help people when they thought there was no help. And so, you know, I've changed from the mindset of, you know, this too shall pass, but then now digging in and doing things a little bit more different, which is a good thing. You know, you have to change, you have to shift. So that's what I've started doing.
I love that, Amanda. I know with this, when you feel like you want to put your head in the sand, I like that you and I have been working on business stuff. I mean, you are in the health coaching arena with me, but all the background of my expectation of what I see how businesses ran, you went into these changes. We pulled off that ostrich thing, and you just said, I get it. I know exactly what to do. And bam, you're just leading with your heart, stepping right into it. And you already knew that. You already knew that. It was what we're doing here today, which is lifting and opening up space so that people can see as an expert what the next thing they need to do. What are you seeing, Tanya? Tanya Tice Parker, what's happening for you today?
Well, I do have to admit to seeing, and I've been talking to Rhonda, because when I get scared, I run call Rhonda. I mean, literally run call Rhonda, help.
Yeah.
But I'm showing up a little, well, I'm recovering a little from the fear. Remembering, like Amanda said, that we've been here before. It may have been a little different, but we've been here before. As far as the quarantine and different things like that, that's been a little different. I think we all have some cabin fever going on right now. Business-wise, I've had to continue to find the creative space, because that gets kind of hard. It really does. So I come back to the middle before I can go forward again. I don't have to go all the way back to the beginning, because there's, that's not managing my disappointment. That is literally trying to scrap things and takes a lot more work. But if I go back to the middle, and there's a song that says, before you can go forward, you got to come back to the middle.
I know that song.
Yes. Indy Irie, absolutely. And so I've come back to the middle. I've spent the past 3 weeks coming back to that. And that's kind of why I put the soul back in the coaching piece of what I do, because that's where I found myself and where I felt like I was able to reach some other people, because we kind of, the soul kind of takes a beat up for the past couple of weeks. I don't know about anybody else, but I've felt whipped.
I mean, almost like every other day I want to cry. Throughout the day, it's just like a different type of, there's shifts in the energy where it's kind of like you know better. Yeah.
The energy has just been unpredictable. Unpredictable. Yes. And you try to stay off CNN, and what do you do now? And it's a lot.
Tanya, and you're going in this direction of like, this is why we're together, right? I mean, like, there's this, when you turn left and right, straight, behind, whatever, there's this stuff. We had somebody here that just told us that so-and-so in their family just passed on, a very young person. So let's get real. This stuff is serious.
Scary. Yep,
it's scary.
Exactly.
So what we're doing now, let's transition into, we laid that foundation. This is reality. We put it out there. Now, everybody that's here in recording or listening, lay it out there for yourself so that you can see it and go, ah. So when you see it, you feel like you can hold it and touch it, and it's pliable. So now, this is the good stuff. So get your sleeves up, everybody. I got the chills right now. If you could see them. I think my lighting's too good to be able to see my But get yourself a piece of paper and pen, and make sure that you have also gotten your top expert guide from all of the experts that you're seeing throughout the day. Not everybody's been able to put their information in the guide, so we're going to keep replenishing that and sending it to you. So if you haven't gotten that yet. But why I'm bringing this up, it's because I want to wash some of that stuff of like how we're showing up today, and now we're going into it. Are you ready, ladies, my experts? Let's talk about tools. Let's scrumptiously share tools that our community right now wants to hear. Let's do it. Who wants to start?
I'll start.
Go ahead, Catherine. No, you're good, babe. Go ahead.
one of the perspectives that I use with myself and with people is to balance, I call them our 3 environments. One is the outer environment, and that's the stuff going on, like we're sheltering in place, we're 6 feet apart in the lines at the grocery store, some of the things are gone on the shelves. That's the outer environment. And how do we creatively take what is, because that's what is, that's the reality. How do we creatively take what is, and then we look at our inner environment. How are we responding inside? What is that bringing up for us? And look at that as an opportunity, because I know for those of us who are highly sensitive or empaths or whatever you want to call that, we're picking up the fear and the pain that's going on around the world. And it isn't just in our community. This is worldwide. This is different. I live in Sonoma County, so I've been through 2 huge firestorms. This is different because that was what you weren't really impacted by that unless you lived here or you knew somebody who lived here. This is the world. Everybody is impacted and we're picking it up. So then to me, sometimes I just need to say, I'm picking up this other stuff, it isn't mine. And okay, I use a tool and I can come to that later to just let go of that. But sometimes I'm picking that up and it's stimulating in me my own fear. And so then instead of stepping away from that, step into it. Like, okay, where did this fear come from? How long have I had it? What can I do with it? How can I release this? Because it's bubbling up for me to see it. It's bubbling up. And when, in the big picture, I think we're as a society, we have the choice at least to raise our vibration, all of us, all of humanity. So as we raise our vibration into more love, what's in us that doesn't match that comes up for us to see. So, and now working with my clients, following that, we're going some amazing places. We're going to childhood, we're going to birth, we're going to past lives. We're going places that whoever you are, my being, is saying, okay, you're ready to see this and let it go.
Wow. I love that, Catherine. I like everything that you said, and it's very interesting at this time because there are a lot of emotions, and you brought up this point about to check within. Is this other things coming in and then amplifying my stress factor, my fear of stuff? This is an opportunity to learn, who am I? What are my fears and the people around me? Or maybe you're watching too many shows with certain things that throw you off. This is where we get to step in, and so that your frequency can go higher. And this is the time that we feel raw. And it's like, okay, do you put your head under a carpet, or do you go out there and you say, oh, I feel raw, and start working with what Catherine was saying, really looking at those layers. Very important. Thank you.
And there's
Go ahead. I was going to ask you what tools. So you said when you feel it and you're, as somebody who is an empath, and you start feeling those coming in, even as you try to avoid media or whatever you may. My husband's got it on all the time, and I'm walking by hearing some things, I'm turn it off, right? Because I'm soaking it all up. So then, you got to stay informed, Amanda. No, I'm okay. I'm informed. What tools, Catherine? What?
Okay, well, I can share some that I don't think are too long. One thing is when we're stressed.
Catherine, maybe like one tool, because you're going to get some more time. So get something that's just juicy for you right now.
Okay. when we're stressed, our energy meridians can turn around and go upside down. So we want to get them turned right side up. And there's a really easy thing. And for all of this, you breathe in your nose and out your mouth, and you find where your collarbones poke out. And then you go below that, where the hollows are, below your collarbone.
Mm-hmm.
On either side, you bunch your fingers up, and you breathe in your nose and out your mouth. Pretty hard right there. And I can feel when mine come back into alignment. And then we tend to leave our bodies when we're scared. And so there's a super quick, simple, easy thing. You just pull yourself back in your body. And feel.
Oh, Catherine, thank you. I did feel that alignment.
Yeah.
So do, my friend. Amanda, did you want to go next, Tanya?
Sure. You know, and I am an expert at no formal title, so I want to rephrase this, but I'm an expert at love and living and being successful in business, however that looks. But we're human, and we're human. So along this journey, the last couple of years, I have a nugget that has just been prior to all of this. That is something that I'll tell you, I think one of my besties hopefully is on. I invited her right before, but I have a grateful group. And I have spun it on, I've got 3 besties, so there's 4 of us, that every morning, I start the morning with 3 great things I'm grateful for. And whether they participate or not wasn't the intention. It was just something I knew that I needed it a few years ago. I was going through some funky stuff, and it has changed our lives, and it has bonded us in a way that we already loved each other. But we have this safeness in this group where one's in education, and she's pretty high up in education, and she's trying to explain to this, other lady, like, you don't understand. My girls are going to tell me if it sounds like BS or not, or they're going to, it has come to not only start our days in this space of just pure grateful. It has also changed the dynamic with us women that are all very A-driven, right? Driver type women. That has been something that has totally changed my life. And I spun it off to a couple of old, best friends. I got another group that I do it with as well. I just copy and paste and send it. But it's been instrumental in a couple of them even bringing their walls down. It may not be necessarily something for today, but I think it's something that probably should be, really thought of today. Is just starting our day grateful. Little tool there. And then the other thing is, as the fear creeps in business, with these shifts that are happening, am I going to have a job? Will there be, for those that aren't self-employed, for us self-employed people, when is when are things going to lift up and we're going to be able to go back to functioning normal or how it used to be? I think reality is there is no used to be. I think now it's a new way, and digging in and finding yourself first in order to be the best you in your business, even better than it was before, because it's possible. And we just adjust and shift with those things. It's really time to tune in internally.
I love that, tuning in, getting to know yourself. And I like that you brought up that point, that the way that life was, when are we going to get back to that? And Catherine's already spoke to it. Amanda, it's about, well, actually, what does this newness look like? We're not going back what it was 3 weeks ago. There's stuff happening that just changed so fast that this is new. How about for you, Tanya?
I think focusing on the gifts that we have that brought us this far, the things in our life that we have overcome, and when we go back to the middle, we truly find what filled our heart, what filled our soul, a renewing of the entrepreneurial spirit that we initially had, that we were born with. Because I believe that it was not an accident. Entrepreneurship is not for wimps. It just is not for wussies. You know, it's just like getting old. That's not a joke. So I've had to really think about the gifts, not get deterred from my path, using the information, not letting it overwhelm me, because it's really easy to become overwhelmed, and it'll shut down any energy that you feel. It will shut down any creativity that we have as entrepreneurs. And I found that I can't let that happen. So literally going back to the gifts, even the gift of survival, the gift of how many of you had to go back to some of the things that mom and dad taught us back when we were gas rationing? I'm telling my age now. Back to when we were rationing gas, and back to when you added a little bit of water to it. You know what I mean by that? You added a little bit of water to stretch the hand soap. You added a little bit of water
For the milk, right?
for the milk. Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
I remember.
In case you can't find it now. Going shopping, I'm a grocery shopaholic. So can you imagine when I walk into a Walmart or a Safeway and they want $12 for a 4-pack of toilet paper? That it literally causes a visceral reaction in me to go,
It's just
So,
wrong.
yes. I
Negative
go back to that survival skill and say, all right, Tanya, you can't have your Charmin, so get your Angel Soft and be happy, you know? You know, okay, there's no 409, there's none of that kind of stuff. How did we do it before? The resourcefulness that as entrepreneurs we have to have. You know, okay, so we dilute a little bleach, we put a little water, or we do a little peroxide and a little water, you know, and those are the things I found that for myself, having to go back to kept the creative thing going.
Yes.
And watching these people in the store, and some of us said, I stopped one man, I said, what did mom and them use? And he said, oh yeah, let me grab some of that. So it shifted from the empty shelf to the shelf that nobody had thought about yet.
Yeah. I love that.
So I've had to stay, and I think we stay in that, long as we can stay in that creative space, we really and function on it and consider that a gift.
Yeah.
Consider that a gift and a purpose, and the store just sharing that with people was just part of what I do, what I am. It was so heartfelt that I don't think I offended anyone. Everybody was like, the light bulbs went on for them. And so it was me being the soulful giver that I am. So that's kind of where I went to with what was
movie
going
we saw
on.
last night.
Yes.
What do you think?
I thought it was fabulous.
Yeah, isn't that interesting? Look what I just find. Way
Something has
up.
to be
Somebody
made.
needs to mute.
Oh, Sherry. Sherry is one of our experts. Early this morning, something was happening because she was muted, but that's so funny. Tanya and ladies, you brought up some good points. I was just looking on Facebook too, and I'm feeling the same stuff. Nicole was saying that being resourceful is key. And it actually allows you to know that you got this. Because when you start getting creative in what you're using, you start realizing here all my experiences I get to bring, forward that may have been stifled down because it you feel raw, and then you start opening up, and you like these things bubble up. And then Jackie Walters said, "You are so right, Tanya. Entrepreneurs are not wimps." So this is where that what you said really got me. So when I found out that we could not be doing a live show a couple weeks ago, like, okay, this is it. Within 24 hours, I brought everything online. I pretty much had all the 20 people that were going to be part of this. I could just see it. I started my visualization. Being an entrepreneur is not by accident. When we come through tough times like this, I'm speaking to everybody, this is the truth, is that this is the time to amp yourself up and bring your truth forward. And if you have a hard time seeing yourself as a leader, because sometimes when I'm coaching, I do see that people are like, I'm not a leader. And like, I see it right away. Yes, you are, but we'll talk about that later. So if you feel that way, bring this to your heart that I'm speaking to you also. When things are really tough, finding those nuggets, finding that you're gonna take care of things, because you know that when you start relaxing, you start listening, powerful things start happening. So ladies, I'm going into that next space thinking about this. I'm feeling really good. We talked about the journey of our struggle of how we got here today. Because we're in struggle time. And I'm ready to go into that space of what are the good nuggets you're seeing right now, happening right now, because we're so alert, so much more raw, and rewiring things, as Tanya was talking about, trying to make new things to clean your house instead of going out and buying the potent stuff. What's some of the new fun stuff that you're seeing out there that's real positive?
Rhonda, I was thinking about that today. I think one of the things is authenticity. That I saw on Facebook where this funny thing where they said, okay, it's 9:00. It's time to change from your day pajamas to your night pajamas. And it's like, yes,
It's 9:00.
You caught me. And those of us that have short hair, we're getting really shaggy.
And gray's coming in.
And the color.
Oh my heavens.
There you go. And the nails came off.
Oh, yours came off. Okay.
There were only one or two left. And the bad part is that they were my actual nails.
Oh.
And so it was like, oh my gosh. But I got creative again last night, and I wrapped foil around them, put the acetone on them, and cut my nails. And it's like, but it's okay. It's okay.
It's okay. I see a
It's
positive
okay.
of saving money on your nails, right?
Well,
that's a positive.
That was, and I remember I said when we bought the house, I wanted to be able to do things around the house. That was one of the sacrifices. I said I'm going to give up my nails in order to move, to be able to do things around my home that I've waited and saved for.
Yeah, I love it.
So.
Well, Catherine, you bubbled up something. We had some laughs here about about what we're seeing here. So please finish, my friend.
So, I told you that I go to the big picture, and part of why I go to the big picture, other than I always have my whole life, is I've spent a lot of decades working with families and kids as a therapist and as a school psychologist, and they have taught me so much. And Dr. Beth mentioned this: kids are the future. Kids are here wired for the future. Mm-hmm. And as I look at the kids, they experiment with who they are, and they're not afraid to put on black lipstick or get a tattoo on the tip of their nose, or it's like, it's like, okay, who am I? And I'm going to be whoever that is in this moment. And I think, I think we're coming into a time where kids already are doing telepathy, especially the young ones.
Mhm.
It's very, they just are. So if you're telepathic, you don't hide. There's no place to hide. So I think that a lot of things that are happening in this, you can either call this chaos, or you can call it a reprieve from chaos. Because in a way, our old lives, rushing from this to that and that to this, and oh, I have to do this, and that was chaos in a way.
Yes.
So you can look at it either way. But I think it is bringing out the most authentic and the best in us. And I'm hoping, I am intending, not hoping, I am intending that we learn how to keep this. Instead of past disasters, when we all came together and we helped one another out and we knew we were one, and then the disaster is over and then you forget about it.
Yeah.
I think I'm holding and intending this time we're not going to forget about it.
I
love
hope
it.
not.
No, me too. I hope not either.
Yeah, I see that, Catherine. I do see that. Yeah, who else wants to add in some of the good nuggets you're seeing out there?
Yeah,
I really
Mhm.
was have considered myself fortunate to have my grandkids here with me and to watch them come home and actually sit down and watch them run these Zoom classes and all the things that have frightened us, even the knuckleheads who went to the beach and said, "How dare you cancel spring break on us?" They really live and move towards the future and have so much to teach. At that 10-year-old came in and set up something on my phone for me that I didn't even know about. But again, it's going to be a business tool for me, and he knows it at 10.
Wow.
Wow.
So it's been sort of a really good nugget to get in with these guys, have them home during the day, and watch them go through this process of what they do at school all day. I think because they're at school, they're out of sight, they're out of mind. And my kids have it's been years since my kids graduated.
Yeah.
So to see my grandkids actually engage in what they do all day in class has just been amazing to see.
I love it. You want to add
Mine
in?
is yeah, it's the family dynamics that I'm really feeling myself, and even with some of my girlfriends where we've had these conversations, that it's like we're on pause right now, and we're grounding and we're getting more centered into what's most important, and it's our families. And I had a daughter, 21-year-old in Miami in school, and I'll be damned if it's her senior year, and that's a whole nother thing that she's having to deal with, and it breaks my heart. But in the same breath, we're all home. We were all home together on our anniversary, and I was sharing this with Rhonda even during our anniversary. It's on St. Patrick's Day, our wedding anniversary. And, I was telling Rhonda, everybody's always partying on our anniversary. There's always something to do, right? And it's 19 years married this year. And so what we decided, what are we going to do this year? We always go out, and things were starting to really get, shut down, right during that time. And we felt it the day before as we were flying Peyton home. And it was the first year ever that we have spent it indoors. I sent Rhonda pictures even with my whole entire family, my bonus daughters. My daughter's got a best friend, and we've got grandkids from her. And then we've got the fiancés and the girlfriends. And it was our family. It was us. My husband and I just sat back and said, wow, babe, look, this is us. And, you know, to be honest, it's probably what I want to do every year.
Mm.
And I'm feeling that from families, a lot more centering them back to what's most important. So.
Oh,
Do you think we've been too busy in the past? Do you
Oh,
think we because
absolutely.
of the freedoms that we had, we were too busy to say, hey, let's do something family oriented, and now
Yeah.
we're being forced
people are
Yeah.
telling us what to
to
do.
engage in that.
Yeah.
You know, we're being forced to play pie in the face and
Yes. Well, you know, the board games that
and
we had.
headbands now is
Oh
on the
gosh,
phone,
that's one of our.
and so we're sitting here doing this.
Yeah.
I mean, just the
Yeah.
fun stuff, the way we grew up,
Yeah,
because
Yes.
we didn't have the stuff that they have now.
I feel like I have
guys,
more energy. I know. I feel like I have more
Right?
energy, and I need energy to play
Mhm.
cards. Like people will say, like our family likes to play cards, and I'm just like, oh, I don't feel like it. And
Me
like,
too.
I mean,
Yeah.
like vitality. I'm like, oh, I just want to hunker in and have conversation, and let's play
Yeah.
some cards on my brain. I'm like, so times have really changed. Over here on
So
Facebook,
true.
we're having some great conversation. Catherine Brewer from Elaine. She says, glorious, a reprieve from chaos. So, Catherine. And then Donna Schreiner, she says, yes, Catherine Dager. So it's all about, yes, Catherine. Oh, okay. So she's, but Donna was speaking to what you were talking about, Catherine Brewer, just about really this reprieve, and that's really not chaos, starting to look at it differently. Elaine says, and even if we don't forget, it will always come up around again. It always does. So we're talking about like learning, like I think, and we talked about that our kids, Tanya, you were talking about this, that our kids are understanding and seeing so much more. Do you know that we were like that? But the
Mhm.
generation where we were growing up to is that, oh, that's weird stuff. That's crazy. You see spirits? Like, what does that mean? Or like, what did you just say? That's really weird. And I
Right.
believe that with us entrepreneurs and talking about the mindset and self-education, that I think that we're able to raise these kids in a way that we're nurturing that space more. I know my discussion as a CPA, when my kids were younger, if I would have stayed in that sense, instead of being this entrepreneur and learning along the way, way different conversation. That's why I find this day to be so powerful. And I'm finding that what people are talking about from these expert pods that were put together, listening to you ladies, laughing and sharing tools. Amanda, can you share your poem, please? In the last
Sure.
portion
Sure.
of this, where we're going to be opening up with discussions and stuff, and I want to hear, because Catherine Brewer, by the way, she said, can I share this song? And I'm like, oh, I wonder how that fits in, but if it flows, yes. So then what happens? Of course, we open the space for everybody, because I bet you Tanya has a poem probably that you usually pull from on life stuff too. So please share, ladies, before we head out.
Sure. So this is prior, right? This is during the messy times around the 19th or 20th. Dreaming thoughts all around. Wondering what in the world do I do now? The confusion, the pain. When will we be free again? A freedom felt not by confinement or restraints. Freedom to do whatever it takes. To be a conqueror of what you dream. To live in love and not want to scream. Does anybody feel it or know what I mean? Tired of the rat race and feeling like a pawn. A light I shine that can't go on. The way it was going isn't telling my truth. I'm healing, I'm searching, and I'm going back to my root. The root of the pain to release and let go. This grounding time is presence, and I needed to grow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Catherine,
So,
come in with your stuff, my friend.
I loved that.
Oh, Joan,
Thank
I'm
you.
sorry. Yes, thank you, my friend. I'll get you in just a minute.
Somebody else talking?
No, I'm making sure that we're going to open the stage for everybody to share. I wanted to go to Catherine and have her share her song, but I want to open up so you have space to talk, so you have like more space to talk. Let's finish these last two things off, and I'll have you answer and tell us what you're feeling today. So
Okay.
let's have Catherine speak in.
Okay, well, I've been listening to people today, and Kim said that she works with applied spirituality. And so I heard this little song on Facebook, and it does so many things. It calms your vagus nerve, which is what we need for resilience. It's repetition, so it calms your brain so that you feel safer. And and it's an affirmation, but it's set to music and rhythm, and that amplifies the affirmation like 10 times. So I'm not a singer. So it's very easy to learn. It's only 3 lines. And we sing the first line, the second line, the first line, the second line. Then we sing the third line twice. Then we sing the first line, the second line, the first line, the second line. So I'll sing it, and as soon as you pick it up, start singing with me. And the other thing is, this is the kind of song that when I used to work with families a lot, I would have them create a family dance. So each person in the family contributes, moves to a certain part of the song. And even the little ones, they can do this for happy. Okay, so here's the song. Every little cell in my body is happy. Every little cell in my body is well. Every little, no, you go on. Every little cell in my body
is happy. Every little cell in my body
is well. I'm so glad every little cell in my body is happy and well. So think, I'm so glad every little cell in my body is happy and well. Every little cell in my
body is happy.
Every
little cell in my body is well.
Every little cell in my
body is happy. Every little cell
in my
body is well.
That's cool.
Tanya, do you have something to share? Let's keep it flowing. And then I know, Joan, you want to say something, my friend. So, Tanya, you got something to share?
Yeah, I just wanted to read a way I've had a little poem about reframing our things and what's going on right now. It's called Just Suppose. Just to suppose when I meditate or pray, there really is someone who listening, who cares about what is on my mind. Just suppose when I meditate or pray, it changes me and my view of how the universe operates and who's involved. Just suppose I put my doubts aside for a minute and consider the possibility that someone who knew me before I was born, loved me, loved my smart mouth, and all without condition or reservation, no matter how badly I've behaved in the past. Just suppose a prayer, a quiet moment, or words, thank you, were my first response instead of my last when facing a new challenge or old temptation. Just suppose I live each day knowing that there is an inexhaustible supply of love for me to pass on to others. Just suppose.
Thank you. So as we transition, we got an opportunity to be with Amanda Rawls, Tanya Tyus Parker, Catherine Brewer. And we took a journey today and venturing in how we first came into the threshold. And we're venturing out at this hour discussing the things that are really working and how we get inspired. And I want you to carry those nuggets with you. I'm going to open up the space and I'm going to share stuff that's going on in Facebook and us live here. I want you to take time, a couple minutes, just to share what you're going through by listening to this journey today. Joan, you've been with us almost all day long, and we have others that probably want to speak up too. So I'd love to open the floor for you, Joan. Please share.
Thank you so much. I am in a great financial crisis. I'm a life coach, a transitional life coach, and I work with people who have come through a loss and moving from loss to new life. And so what's happening for me today is I feel like I'm in the normal stage now. Everybody's down there with me and trying to figure out how to move forward in a financial crisis, especially. And you know, the tools that I have picked up, the ways of living I've taken on, and I never grow tired of new beginnings. I've been through so many transitions from the convent, from the childhood to the convent to the alcoholism, from the alcoholism to the recovery, from the recovery to becoming, this was in Connecticut for 25 years. I was a psychotherapist and I worked with people, and I just loved it so. So I get to California and they say, my license is not reciprocal with theirs. So I become a life coach. So in 2014, I graduated from Quantum Success Coaching Academy, and I am a certified law of attraction life coach. And so I've been through a series of all kinds of inner changes, outer changes, everything. And I sit here this morning at 83 and knowing that life isn't over, it's only beginning. This is another beautiful new beginning. And my heart is so happy and my pocket is so empty. I looked at my banking in between these sessions and I said, oh my God, I got to call the banker. But, you know,
and Joan, you and I have talked about, you know, what's so divine though, is that you have this flow where people are lifting you, and you find even mentors that help you even grow even more.
yes.
And so there's like this, like, you're saying people are scared right now, and you're saying, oh, haha, you're with me right now, so now let's play. I love it. I love it. We're all neutral, aren't we?
I don't have fear about the virus. I think I have more fear about how am I going to get out of the hole and keep my work going here. And what I keep learning is all the things I've heard. I do tapping. I do meditation early in the morning, and first when I wake up with meditations, and I go to bed with my meditations, and they're from YouTube, and I find the ones I like that talk about, you know, love and health and all these wonderful things that we all share. And I love being people I don't even know and knowing they're just like me. They have their own little life, they have their own belief system, but you're all just like me and I'm just like you.
It's a wonderful community.
And I was born, I'm the 13th of 14 children, so I woke up in a community, and I'm always community oriented, and I live lives in different areas, and they're all communities. So, but I'm so happy to be here, and I really love what I'm hearing. And we need to, as you all said, we need to not just get all involved in our own stuff. We need to bring the beauty that God has graced us with. And, you know, my divine self is, you know, that my divine is my partner in life, you know, and to bring not so much talking in that area because there's so many different belief systems, and that's beautiful, but to bring what I have, what I do best is love. I have a capacity to love people until they come to know who they are. And you know, it's always in that transition from loss to life, no matter what's going on in your life. You're leaving something and moving to something else. And it's a struggle, but we all have each other now. You know, the technological world that I'm not really savvy with, I do really well considering, but I'm in love with it. I'm in love with it because it brings us together. And now is the time, if ever.
It really
More
is,
than
now
ever.
is the time. And
What a gift. What a tool.
okay, so one question for you, my friend. Elaine Hausman says, 83, wow. So you've been with us all day. What I'm hearing is that the way you start your morning and what you're doing probably adds so much to how you are showing up, because physically this is from
It's
inside
really
out.
essential.
So any
Thank you.
tips you want to share about being 83 and looking so vibrant and luscious and beautiful?
Well, you know, 18 years in the convent when you don't drink and you don't smoke, you know, and you eat healthy and you're serving the people all the time.
Yeah.
I think that's a big part of it. I came from a healthy family. You know, my mother, we didn't have nice clothes, but we had good food. And we walked every day. So,
yeah.
and community, music, music and song in my house, piano playing all the time. So, I mean, I'm so blessed. I'm so blessed.
We all are, my friend, and you. I've known you for a couple of years, and we've been able to keep in touch because you're keeping up with technology. And I believe that that you being here today and being able to share your story has inspired, you know, each hour that we're coming on. I so appreciate you being here. Catherine, Elaine Hausman says, I have a feeling I'm going to be humming the song all day. And then Jackie Walters said, oh, I love that song. So I'm so glad you brought the song forward. Anybody else want to please engage? We are here for you as the experts of coming in for this pod, and we do have our last hour coming up at 3 o'clock. And at 3 o'clock, I want to make sure I share with you what's happening so you know. But this is the group at 3 o'clock. Melody raised her hand. Oh, gosh, Melody, I'll be right with you. This is awesome, you being here again. But I want to make sure you know that we were supposed to be in Marin over in Corte Madera. So the 3 o'clock to 4 o'clock were the people that were going to be here live. And Joan, I was going to be picking you up and we were going to be driving to Corte Madera.
I know.
It'll be interesting. I do want you to come back. We're not done yet, but I do want you to come back at 3 Pacific time, because this group is going to really be discussing, things really got shifted for them, and they finally get to speak in the expert pod. And before we clip everything off, Melody, I want to hear from you, my friend. How are you doing in this hour?
Good. I'm great. Somehow I can't get my picture up, but that's okay. So I'm absolutely loving this day. It's just, I hear so many phrases that are hitting home, and she was talking about being of service, and I happen to be in a transitional position, and I'm staying with my sister who works for a nonprofit. So she's very being of service. And I'm working, we haven't spent time together since childhood, or well, no, not since childhood. She actually lived with me when she was a teenager. So since teen years. And so we're reestablishing a relationship, right? And so what we're learning is to have gratitude for the other person's differences. Now, this isn't always smooth. This isn't always right. And the stories start, you're like, oh, what's she upset about? I left something out or whatever. So yesterday we had this moment of coming together with this whole situation happening. And she was cooking. And we grew up in a very large family, like the last speaker was talking about. My mother was very frugal. We were very poor. We didn't know we were poor, but we were very poor. But we had a balanced meal on the table. It was always a creative meal on the table. And my mom kept every single bit of leftovers, and somehow it went into another meal. And so we were having this discussion, and my sister's doing this, and I said, wow, you're so creative like Mom with the food. And she looked at me and she's like, what are you talking about? So she doesn't even remember this imprint, right? Right? She has another story about our mom, which isn't as nice. So it's been a really great exercise at this time to also share stories about family that other members may not remember. And you're recreating this lovely full picture, right, of where you came from, where you're going, and what's going on now. It's just, it's making my arms tingle, because we are in a unique opportunity that would never have happened in a million years if this epidemic hadn't happened. And it would not happen. And I'm reestablishing this loving relationship, even though it's a painful exercise sometimes, right? But and I looked at her and I said, we should start a show. Like, people don't know how to do this.
That's right.
I love
People
it.
don't know how to save every little thing and turn it into something else. So anyway, I just was enjoying it and thought I'd share that.
Thank you, Melody. I'm so getting to know you, and I'm appreciating your insights here. CJ was reaching out to you, John, because remember, you and CJ were going to be able to catch up and in Corte Madera. But Carolyn said, Joan, so nice to see and hear you. So someday we're going to be in Corte Madera live, and you guys will be able to hug and say hello. Anybody else want to open up?
Can I say something?
Oh gosh, please.
I'm a certified hypnotherapist, and I do online sessions all the time. And it's really been nice to listen to all of you with your upbeat messages, because I deal with a lot of people who have anxiety and are struggling. And, it's kind of nice when you can feel that back up again with positive thoughts and enjoyable things. And I've been enjoying, because I was teaching classes, on anxiety and law of attraction and the vagus nerve and all sorts of different classes. And those are all shut down now, but I'm looking at it and thinking, I know that this is what I'm going to, is this kind of class format. And I've been impressed and enjoying listening to the feedback and stuff. So thank you.
So, Anne, it seems like this could open up just being here, and of course, we are all serving at some point. So you're a person that's out there serving, and you're doing it in a physical space. So watching this happen today, does it seem like it's like an easy possibility for you? Just get Zoom going and get your business up and going.
I've been on Zoom for about 2 years, and so I do sessions. I have clients all over the United States.
Then today, what were you saying that you got from today? You did say something.
The class, taking my classes. I have classes that I teach, and putting them online.
I could see that building your business, huh, Ann? That would be big opportunity.
It's very exciting for me. This time has been very exciting. I've been able to come home, work more, and getting my online stuff done, getting everything finished up. And so for me, this has been a absolutely, it's been kind of nice, because I could say, oh, I can't go out. I got to stay home and get this other work done. So for me, it's been kind of like, oh, yay, I don't have to go.
I love that, my friend. Let's see. Yeah, so I think we're all up to date. Anybody else want to add in before we close off this hour? I know I'm having tons of fun, everyone. When I first started this business as a health coach, I was at my lowest low. One of my worst ones where I felt like I was spinning. I couldn't see the ground. I could not see the sky. And I didn't have a guide. All this good information, it wasn't there. I was very exterior, and I didn't know that there was another world. And as I started changing, my relationships started changing. And it was very, very hard for me because we think, well, we're feeling better, so everything should be fabulous. But what I found is some of the people that were still around me were looking at me differently and saying, well, you passed your CPA exam. Why are you not in corporate? What are you doing this? And a lot of judgment that we feel. But what we're displaying today is that we're going to make it through. So if we have people in our life, because we're doing, like everybody here, we're looking for that mindset transformation. And we're going to keep moving forward. And the people that love on us for who we are, know that it's going to be even better and better as you just keep growing. Don't allow those people that want to hunker you down and see you for the past, because I was such an exterior person. I don't want to be known for who I was in the past, because it wasn't who I truly was. I'm really finding out who I was. I'm a child, and with a 50-year-old with these experiences with technology and coaching and running this show. And so remember all the good nuggets you're bringing together for yourself right now. Look at all your past experiences to bring them into this beautiful hub. 10 years of waitressing right here. Being in corporate, not enjoying it, but being right here and learning how to get there. Being a mommy where I felt like I was lost and I was never going to come back, to having these fabulous discussions. As we are talking right now, this is how I talk to my kids, because I know that they chose me. I don't have to stifle them down, because we had America's teenologist, Dr. Beth, in here, and we were talking about that. So I want to welcome this discussion to keep going on in the Fresh Inspiration Show public group. I want to welcome you back at 3 o'clock Pacific time to be with our last pod that was going to be live in Marin. We're going to have some great heavy discussion about that. I want to say thank you to Amanda. Amanda, I see a book in you that you're getting ready to release, and to be able to share your poetry. And it comes from you, and sometimes we believe that it's just about us, but we all shared our story today. We need to share our story, because that is how people know, oh, you're just like me. So Amanda, thank you for sharing that poem. Amanda, you're dealing with home loans. It's a very realistic, got my feet on the ground, watching these things change, but you're finding ways to keep that bubbling up in inspiration. So keep that poetry going, and I love you, my friend. Tanya Tice Parker, Super Soul. And Tanya, you talked about a lot about spirit and about soul and about life, about our age, and whatever age you are, my friend. And the age of what you learned as you were growing up, and how it's like a full circle right now, because age doesn't matter, time doesn't matter, but we got to bring in the preciousness of age does matter, because being on this earth, we have big tools, and as we get older and older, you know what? We get more and more divine. None of the old school of aging and we have nothing to offer. We have so much to offer, and I'm loving bringing this aging thing in, because every year is perfect. Catherine Brewer, being able to bring that song in, and what I got from people, and watching it here, but being able to see that people started posting right away about, oh my gosh, I'm not going to be able to forget that song. That song is so awesome. And so it's at that cell level. And for you to talk about other lives, and and where we're going, and stuff like that. You have some really deep stuff that we all have been sharing. Make sure that you instant message me or you get a hold of me if you didn't get this. Everybody that you're seeing today, we're going to keep updating this to make sure that all the experts get to put their information in here. And these are top experts, what you're seeing today, and their 3-step healing list. So make sure that we get your information so I
Just
can
make
get
sure
that
that
to you.
that doesn't
All right.
have
I love you, ladies. We'll be back
beeswax
at
in it.
3 o'clock. And Catherine, it looks like you had to say
Mhm.
something. Did you want to add something?
All I want to say is that for us to know the power that we have when we come together, we are only scratching the surface of the power that we have to change our lives and to change all of society when we come together.
Thank you, my friend. Namaste. Have an insightful 45 minutes. Come back in and let's play our last round of the Fresh Inspiration of Thon. Thank you, ladies. Get into our group, interact. We're going to keep this momentum going. Bye-bye.